Hi, this is Jimbo with Altcoin Buzz. Thanks for tuning in for another TA segment. In today's video, we are going to cast our eyes over the Bitcoin price, which, as you can see, is actually dropping right now. We'll see if we can determine where that's going to lead the price over the next couple of days. And also, we're going to cast our eyes over Enjin and Cardano, where I've spotted some particular points of interest. If that sounds interesting to you guys, please slap a like on the video and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz if you haven't already. And with nothing else to say, let's jump on in. Today we're going to start here on the 4-hour chart, and the reason I do that is because I think this candle we're looking at right now is relatively significant. As you can see, we've broken the smaller falling wedge that we saw develop over the last couple of weeks, and we are now dropping like a stone towards that 8,000 level, which is where we have our convergence of our two support lines. What happens at this point is going to be crucial for Bitcoin over the next few days and weeks, potentially. If these supports are to break, then we will see Bitcoin fall back into the larger wedge that we've been analyzing, and we're getting very, very close now, within $100 or so of those support lines. So we really want to see Bitcoin bounce. I would imagine by the time this video is published, we will have seen this resolve one way or the other. So if this doesn't come out because right now it's 6:30 UK time on Monday. If this isn't out till later, go and check, have a look at your line, see did we bounce or did we fall. That's going to give you a really good idea of where Bitcoin's going to head, because if this acts as a springboard, that's extremely bullish. However, as I said before, if we see these two support lines break, then we could be in for more downside. What I will quickly do is something I don't usually do, is we'll just jump down to the 1-hour chart and have a look at see if there's any signs of a bounce there. I'm not seeing any immediate signs at the moment. I think trying to enter any long at this point would be like trying to catch a falling knife, as the classic saying goes. But like I said, guys, this smaller falling wedge pattern, although significant, and you can see that the breakout's been followed up with some momentum, the more important support lines that we need to analyze here are the blue and red ones, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving any financial advice. I'm just trying to highlight the areas of interest as the way I see them. And for me, we're getting extremely close to this one. In fact, this may even break or spring during this video. So that'll be interesting to keep an eye on. What we'll do is quickly have a look at the daily and see what this does to our patterns on the daily. And as you can see, now we've got our longer patterns clearer and visible. You can see just how close we are to testing those support lines and potentially either breaking down much further, or of course, as I continue saying to you guys, seeing this wedge act as a springboard, which would be very bullish. But this next daily candle or next set of candles is absolutely imperative to where Bitcoin ends up in the next few weeks. Remember, guys, what we're really looking for is a close that breaks these lines. As you can see, we almost hit 820 there, so dropping very close to these lines. Even looks even more dangerously close on the daily. But when we put the 4-hour on, you can see that actually we've got very, very close to that critical point that we've had outlined. The question is, are we about to cross that barrier, or are we going to spring up? We will revisit Bitcoin at the end of the video to see if we can determine any more from this. It may stabilize before it moves any further. But in the meantime, we'll jump over to Enj, which I have been speaking to you guys about in a couple of videos now, analyzing this triangle formation, tightening range that we saw developing on Enj. Now, what I wanted to highlight to you guys is we were discussing, like I said, in Bitcoin, this springboard action that can occur. Enj is looking absolutely prime at the moment. Of course, any huge Bitcoin move is going to destroy any real bullish hopes for the alts, at least in the short term. But guys, what I wanted to identify is not only did we break the formation, if we look at the daily chart, you can see that we have broken out of this triangle formation with a nice green candle. We came back down, and what we've seen today form is one of these bounce wicks off the 50 exponential moving average, and that also happens to coincide with a quite nice bounce on the 4-hour. You can see here's our previous resistance line, a really nice bounce candle here showing really good strength, finding support really easily on that 50 exponential moving average, and now pushing up. I think this candle is probably being hampered slightly by the volatility in Bitcoin. As I glance my eyes over to the Bitcoin price, it's back over 8,100, so extremely volatile, down almost 4.5% on the day. So be careful out there, guys, if you're trading. But anyway, what I want to highlight is that we've got our stochastic RSI crossing over bullish. We have our RSI bouncing at the 50 level, and it coincides with a bounce on a previous resistance looking to be acting as support. If this candle closes an hour and 25 minutes nice and in the green and above this support line, from my own personal perspective, Enj is looking very bullish on the 4-hour and the daily time frames. But that's just my opinion. Again, just, you know, do your own research. This is not advice. This is just me showing you how I look at the charts. And finally, before we revisit Bitcoin for the last time, we will go over to the Cardano 4-hour chart, ADA Bitcoin. And as you can see, here's our nice little rise in price that we've seen from Cardano over the last few weeks. It's been sort of quite highly talked about that it's been moving nicely, and it is good to see. But what I want to highlight to everyone today is this area between 550 satoshis and 650 satoshis. Now for me, this is an absolutely crucial range. It's acted as support here, and resistance at the beginning of our breakdown, resistance once again, and we still haven't broken back in, and we have just in the last day seen a candle form which went up and briefly started to explore this area and got rejected. Now, if you are looking at ADA Cardano at the moment, I would say to you that this blue box here is absolutely imperative. If we break up into it with a clear close in, then personally I'd be looking for a test of the upside here at 650. However, we have seen a couple of current rejection wicks, but no strong move down, as you can see. You know, if we were seeing strong rejection or a strong downwards move, you'd expect to see these big red candles. We're yet to see that. However, Bitcoin volatility and that area of resistance could work together to see ADA retrace back down towards the 450 area, maybe 500 area. If you're holding ADA, what you really want to see is that cross of 550 backed by volume and a close above. That'd be really nice. Our RSI and stochastic RSI are both completely all over the place at the moment, which isn't unusual in a time when you see this sort of rise. You know, you've got these natural retracements. This looks relative from my own perspective. This sort of rise looks quite natural because you've got buyers buying and sellers taking profit all the way along. The question is, has this resistance zone, is this too heavy for Cardano buyers to break into? Well, only the next couple of days are going to show us that, guys, so keep your eyes peeled on that. Before we wrap up the video, let's jump back over to Bitcoin, and we can see we are seeing a bounce wick develop on this candle, but we've still got an hour and 20 minutes to go. Maybe we have seen the candle forming right now, which could lead to our springboard effect for Bitcoin. There's no certainty of that at all because, like I said before, it's all about closures, and even if we close, still with a red candle here, I still believe there's a chance that we could see a green candle form next. What I would expect to be extremely bullish is if in this next hour and 20 minutes, if this red candle retraces back and comes back into the range that we saw tightening here, say we close this red candle above 4250, for me that would be quite a good sign that our supports are holding strong, but much more than that, and I think we could see some more downside ahead for Bitcoin. Guys, if you've enjoyed the video, please, like I said at the beginning, put a like on there for us and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz if you haven't already. You're going to get all the newest videos first if you do that and hit the notification bell. And as per I always say, please make sure you go over and check out altcoinbuzz.io. There's some fantastic articles on there, research, news, all of that sort of stuff. It is brilliant, a very good resource for your day-to-day crypto activities. Well, I think that's enough from me today, guys, and as I always say, I'll see you later on down the trend line.